Hi, I'm Lisa Bowker, and I'm an advanced integrative therapy teacher and supervisor. And today I am going to be sharing with you about my upcoming AIT Depth archetypal training. So I wanted to start by addressing two questions that I typically receive about depth. The first one is, what's the difference between working with a part and working with a personal archetype in AIT? From an AIT perspective, working with a part involves working with a person's conscious ego. So if you think back to basics, where you learned that diagram of concentric circles representing the psyche, we want to think about the outermost circle being the personal conscious, then the personal unconscious as we go in closer to the center, the collective unconscious, and then right at the very middle is the center, or a person's spiritual center. So when we're doing work with someone's parts, we are working in the conscious and the personal conscious, and a little bit in the personal unconscious. Sometimes we can get into kind of the subconscious material. With depth work, we're going to start moving deeper in. So when we want to work with a personal archetype, we're going to be working deeper in the personal unconscious and then intersecting the collective unconscious. And that also means the center. So we think of archetypal work as working with aspects of the center of the person. So I hope that's helpful in thinking about the differences in these different ways of working and noticing that they're both beneficial. Sometimes we really do need to work deeper in the person's psyche, and this is a method of doing so. Okay, my second question I often get is, what's the difference between Jungian archetypal work and AIT depth work? So while depth is grounded in Carl Jung's work, it is quite different. In AIT, we teach you how to actually treat an archetype, so a personal archetype, not a collective archetype, how to teach that, how to work with that personal archetype's trauma. And that personal archetype's trauma does not come from your client's personal lived experience. It's what the archetype carries. So, what the archetype has suffered and how its suffering is then impinging upon the client's well being. So, not only in depth are you learning how to treat how an archetype has affected a client, but also how to help personal archetype transform. So, over time, this archetype can have the capacity to do what we call in AIT turn towards the light. So, freeing an archetype of its trauma also means that archetype can share more of its full inherent gifts with the client. So I hope this helps you get a sense of what makes AIT depth work unique and also very powerful. Depth seminar is considered a foundational training because each advanced AIT seminar that you can take has archetypal components in it. So having taken depth will allow you to use these components right away. As in all AIT trainings, you're going to learn step-by-step protocols, meditations, active imagination scripts, treatment plans, and ways to help a client have a healthy and boundaried relationship with their personal archetypes. So I hope you will join me this November at the Depths training. Here are the details to register. I'll be teaching depth online in English November 2nd, 3rd, and 9th. We'll be meeting from 9:30 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The cost for the seminar is $550 US. To register, you're going to go to my website, which is lisabowker.com, LISABOWKER.com. You're going to go to the heading AIT training, and click on depth, and then you will see an enroll button. So please feel free to reach out with any questions. You can reach me at lisa@lisabowker.com. Thank you so much for being part of AIT's growing community, and I hope to see you at Depths.